June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and this month, we're letting a man speak for himself. What you're about to hear is real, unfiltered, and it's only part of the story. Ken's full interview drops this September, but this part, we couldn't hold it.
I have to nurse myself back. I had to do something outside of Kenneth. I made a vow to myself last year. I told myself I had to just keep it real. I was like, if I have another year, if my 2026 is anything like 2025, I would not make it. Like, for real. I'm very intentional about it, God. So, look, I move, you move. Just like that. Come on, let's go.
Come on, Ludacris.
Okay.
Okay, come on, Ludacris, ATL. I'd be remiss if I don't, if we, I can't glance over this because you've said it a couple of times. So I wanted to know, you were talking about you went through a level of depression for at least 4 to 5 months. If you don't mind, talk about it. What was causing this depression, and then how did you come out of it?
Ooh. Ooh, baby, we can be dangerous, baby. Oh,
Okay,
wow. Now,
She's
and,
the
and
producer.
it's Mental Health Awareness Month as well.
that's right.
Baby, catch
That's
that
right.
dirt.
Catch that dirt.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, come on, Ooh, baby, okay. No, because we're
Okay.
gonna talk about it because it's the real thing.
Yes.
I want to preface like really quickly and let you guys know that I'm no stranger to anxiety depression. My parents divorced at 5. I when I look back like in high school and I because we didn't know what it was like back then. Black people, we were just taught to be stoic and keep going. We didn't know a lot of stuff that we were dealing with.
Still are taught that.
Yeah, yeah. We didn't know what it was, and there was no name for it. But when I look back, I was like, oh wow, I was like literally 6, 7, 8, dealing with like crazy anxiety, depression, ADHD, and
Hmm.
stuff because of the divorce. But I've always had like a toolkit to keep me afloat. I would go running or do yoga, healthy meditation, go on a walk, and all of that. That always sustained me. I wanted to like. I was just doing a lot. I was working in public health. I was working on evolution skincare. And I'm a yes man too, and I'm a lover, right? I love part of a huge part of me is like showing up for my people and yeah, that's just me. It was just a culmination of things that kind of knocked me off the rocker. But by the time I had launched Evolution Skincare, I feel like I was progressively doing better. After the blocks, that was 2024. That's crazy that was so long ago. So, y'all, the pandemic messed up my sense of time measurement. So everything seems so long
Mm.
ago, but not too
Yep.
long ago. Am I the only
Yep.
one?
Nope.
No. No,
Everything
going by
seems
really
so
quickly.
not long ago. So, oh my gosh, after the blocks the situation, like you, Casey, I got it out. It was very cathartic, and I was like, baby, you got to launch. I had family coming from Mississippi. I had friends coming from California, New York, a cousin from Dubai, and friends from France, just all over. People like were coming to support me. I was so happy at what I was doing. That actually, it was a pick me up. But guys, my products. Think about working on something for 3 years working diligently, tirelessly, like putting your all into it for one moment to be taken away. I purchased a premium package, which afforded me 3 opportunities to get my formula down packed. Right. Every time like a version came out, like version one, the only thing I didn't was the cleanser. My cleanser is a gel cleanser because cream cleansers are suited for people with dry skin, and oil cleansers are. I'm sorry, foamy cleansers are suited for people with oily skin. I wanted the happy medium. I wanted a gel cleanser that could also be used as a mask. It was like very hydrating, not stripping, but also very nurturing to the skin. But I needed to foam a little bit because some women wear makeup and stuff like that. So I wanted it to work across the spectrum. But everything else, the serum and the cream, beautiful came out beautifully. The second version, the same thing was with the cleanser. And then the third version, and we're getting ready to launch at this at this point. And it's funny, I got my third version. The cosmetic manufacturing company mailed my third version to Tulsa. That was my third version that I've received
Oh.
like when I was in Tulsa. And
Oh.
my cream, so cleanser was great, serum still consistently great across the board. And my cream was runny, and I was like, "What did you guys change?" I was looking at the formula, and the formula mirrored and was congruent with my past formulas. I was like, Is it the temperature that they heated the cream up? Like, what's going on?" They were like, "Nothing changed, but we don't know what's going on." We both collaborated and found a few more stabilizers that would
Okay.
increase the viscosity, which is the thickness of the product. They were like, we'll do a complimentary version 4 for you. And I was like, guys, I said, we've already, before, I want to say, before I think version 2, my the initial date for the launch was August, I think August the 18th or something like that.
Mhm.
But because we were running behind schedule, I was like, look, I want to push it back. I want to make sure. I said, I have to have my products. I have to have my pilot batch because your pilot batch is what you showcase. You don't necessarily do a sell. You do your pre-sales at your launch, but you showcase your pilot batch. You need that component there because
Right.
skincare is see, touch, smell, and feel, right? They gave me the reassurance. I was like, we're sure that we're going to make a September date because I pushed it all the way out to September 21st. And guys, so they ended up multiple delays, but they had my pilot batch ready, and they overnighted it out on Thursday for Friday because the event was Saturday. Tell me why there was a delay with UPS, and my products
Oh,
made it to Georgia, was in Georgia on Saturday, but
oh,
they weren't scanned. What I do appreciate though, the CEO and the managing director, her husband, were on the. I actually stayed on site at the venue at the hotel because I was like, I need to be there that day, so I stayed on site. And we were up all night Friday until Saturday. I was like, look, can I please? It was in Hateville, Georgia, which is about 20 minutes away. I was like, look, I will physically come there and get them instead of the mail. I was like, I have an event. It was
oh
horrible.
my
So,
God.
yeah, products not at my event, y'all. And
Yeah.
I have been planning for this for years, had rented out the nice, like, the
It
nice.
was a black tie event. I saw it on Facebook. Oh my God.
It was really bad. It was so bad. I was so sad. I was so heartbroken and so hurt. So I felt that ignited the very deep depression.
Mm.
But in 2025, I was like, I have to keep going. I kept rationalizing staying with my cosmetic manufacturing company because it took me a whole year to find one. I had a meeting with them post launch to let them know this really negatively impacted my business. This shouldn't have happened. I didn't get a call or an email, or they didn't tell
Ooh.
me that they were sorry the
That's it?
Saturday of my launch. Yeah, and then in their defense, they did give me, they were like, we'll comp your boxes. So per FDA, you have to have the outer boxes for your product.
Mhm.
For the boxes, they gave them to me complimentary. I think the 3D rendering to go on my website. But it was like no accountability for the multiple delays and me not having my product. I talked to the CEO about that and she was like, yeah, we're sorry. It was not our intention. And I was like, you know what? I kept rationalizing staying. I was like, I just have to sever ties. I severed ties with them, and they were like family to me. I flew up to New York and I visited the lab and spoke with the managing director, the chemist, just everybody a part of the project. And they were like family. They were really like family to
Yeah.
me. And yeah, me severing ties, I felt like I was starting back over from square one, although I knew I wasn't because I have my formula. I own this ish. This right here, baby, this is Kenneth. I own it. And I thank God for his provision. I would say
Mm.
that. But that in conjunction with having to sever ties, and then the business was just it was just so much. Like everything was new. I stepping into the entrepreneurial hemisphere, like you're doing so much. You're a solopreneur, so you're doing everything. I have been doing everything for years, and then still trying to show up for family and show up for friends. And and then Casey. So I did Simone's Capital Navigator program last year.
Oh, you did
Yeah.
that.
So,
Okay.
yeah, it was great, but it was extremely intense, and I was about to drop out and everything. I was like, look, I'm just dealing with so much. Like I was having muscle fasciculation, like my stomach muscles were like jumping for 3 or 4 months. Like it was my
Ah,
nervous system was unregulated. It was really bad, y'all. And I
Yes.
kept going. I was still trying to go. I was sleeping a lot. Like I was
oh, that's a sign.
losing
Yeah.
a lot of weight. And after Simone's Capital Navigator wrapped, it was in April or May. Like I had give out. Like I had nothing. Like
Hmm.
yeah, and from I want to say May all the way until like maybe September, October, I was like in the bed, working from the bed. That's why I didn't have a big social media presence. I didn't have any fuel. I had developed a parasite too. It was really bad, y'all. The only thing that saved me honestly was my niece. Like my best friend, before my niece got here, he got his dream job, this big job in pharma. It requires extensive travel. And my best friend is a single dad, and we have a big group. We have a very prominent like village here, and our friend and I, and we told him it was like, bro, we're gonna rally around you and help raise cadence when you go in your business. Like I don't have a lot of flexibility, but I'm more flexible than you are because I'm working for myself. But she goes to school, daycare during the day, so that gives me free up. So when I told you I had to take care of someone outside of myself,
Right. There you go.
that held me. Like y'all, I promise I would be like depressed. I like down, cannot get up. But so I would keep her maybe 1 or 2 weeks out of the month. Every time I would go get that little girl, it would bring a brightness to my life, even in the midst of like turmoil and
Mhm.
strife. Having to care for her and just seeing babies just brings so much joy.
Yes.
That actually helped sustain me, like for real, because I had to do something outside of Kenneth that helped pick me up. And I made a vow to myself last year. I told myself I had to just keep it real. I was like, if I have another year, if my 2026 is anything like 2025, I would not make it, like for real. I was like, this is not suicide talking. I'm just talking. Like, I'm just
Yeah.
Right.
keeping it up. And I was like, I'm going to be intentional about this. I was like, you know what? I'm going to start my new year in November. I went home for Thanksgiving. I took my notepad. I was like, I have to nurse myself back. So I start implementing structure. The one thing about the gym perfects your life in all other elements, especially when you go in the morning. It's something about starting a slow morning with meditative prayer, my green tea, and going to the gym that helped keep me afloat, y'all. Like I'm talking about, like
Mm.
it held me accountable, like with my work and everything. So ever since I got back on December 1st, I started my new year. I was like, even during the winter, I'm gonna zip my coat up. I'm gonna go on my walk, my nature. I walk every single day. That's off the rip. Even if I go to the gym or not, I always go on a nature walk. And that little girl, Kaden, and me really circling back around and devising that plan and starting my new year early is what
Mhm.
has me like. I'm talking about mental clarity has regained. I feel so much better now. I'm like more vibrant, just all of that. That's